Hey, hi everyone. Uh, yeah, just don't mind the background sound because there's where I stay is actually near the air base, so the plane always fly past. Yeah, just 1 second. Yep, I actually get that every single day because where I stay is very near to air base, so every day the planes are taking off. So in the daytime you get periodically you get this sound. I get this sound all the way until say about 6 p.m. Then it kind of stops. It stops because this is a military air base, so they only do the exercise during the day, and under special circumstances sometimes they will do it in the evening. So it can sometimes go into 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. but generally it stops by 7 p.m. Right. Yeah. But hey, no choice. This is where I stay. So hopefully in a couple of years time, I'll probably move off to somewhere without all these noise disturbances. Right. Okay. Let's get back to the main topic. Right. I'm going to talk about this project called the Bay Saphanmai by Sansiri. We've been getting a lot of requests in our inboxes. Our clients are asking, all right, or the followers to our website or YouTube videos, they are dropping us PM. They are saying, hey, Kevin, Daryl, I've been seeing, there's a lot of advertisement going on about this project. The price looks very, very attractive. So is this a good project? Please give us your view. So that's why I'm doing this video review to touch on the few main points that you should consider when deciding whether to invest in this project or not. And hopefully it can shed some light and give you more clarity in your decision making process. Right. I'm not going to talk about the location and all these things in depth because Daryl has already done earlier video, a preview of the base Saphanmai. He talks about exactly where is it, like where's the train station is supposed to be next to, what are the catchment areas surrounding, then he talks about the project highlights, how many floors, how many units, and so on and so forth. So if you are keen to find out more, you're hearing this for the first time, check out the link below. I'll put a link direct to his the earlier preview video that we did, so you can check that out. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go straight into talking whether my opinion whether this is something that you should be looking at, right? Well, if you have decided to book this unit, or you have already made a decision, you have booked a unit, then maybe you want to look away. All right. All right. Yeah, you guys are still around, so let's get back into the main topic. All right. I generally there are about 5 to 6 selling points that people will pitch to you regarding this project. So I'm going to do this from that angle as well. We're going to talk about why are the reasons that you should be considering the base Saphanmai, and I'll give my own personal opinion on those points that are being mentioned. Right. Well, before I carry on, if you guys are watching this video for the first time, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will do periodic reviews of properties in Bangkok that are coming up. We do a lot of site visits, so do subscribe to us. Give us a thumbs up for this video. So every time we put new stuff, you can actually get updated, right? So the base Saphanmai, the very first thing that we need to mention to you is, of course, the developer. All right, the developer is Sansiri, so that's definitely a plus point. Without a doubt, Sansiri is one of the top developers in Bangkok. They are public listed. you can attest to their quality. You can see the developments that they have completed, and the base is not something new that they've come up with. They have existingly built several base projects that were TOP. Like for example, TOP means completed, right? So for example, if you go to T77, which is near On-Road, previously we were marketing a project called Kawa House, right? So within that community, they also do have two high two tall towers where they actually built it under the base series. So what's the difference between the base and the different series? Why do they have so many? All right, to put it straight to you, the base is I would consider that more towards the mass market series already. It's usually one tall tower with a lot of units. The finishing will be a bit below their other series like the Line, or maybe the better ones like Monuments. Of course, you can't compare, but there's always a give and take. That's why, because that's why the price point of the base will always be very, very attractive to a lot of people, and I'm sure you are taking notice of this project also because of the promise of a very attractive entry price, right? Um, yeah, so that's probably something that you guys have to be take note of. You know, when you buy into a project with a high density, uh, then you do get a lot more competition. And unless the project does have something that stands out and make it different from its peer in the neighborhood, then it's always a supply and demand issue. You see, so. Yeah, something that we cannot hide away from. To upfront let you know, it's a trade-off that you have to consider, right? But having said that, but because the developer is Sansiri, we can more or less be assured that even if it's a mass market project that they're doing, they will put a certain degree of quality to it, and that's why it is also very popular with the locals. For somebody who have only a budget of about 3 million or 4, they would probably want to consider getting the base versus maybe comparables in the region, right? So Sansiri, and also recently there's a lot of not recently, I mean, on and off, people always ask, will the project gets completed on time? Will it be delivered with as promised and all these things? So that's why we always advocate buying from the big developers. I'm not saying that nothing will go wrong, right? There's always a small chance, but by choosing to stick with the big developers, you subject yourself to less uncertainty versus the mid to small size developer, right? Hate to say that, but it's true, right? Right. So that's definitely a plus, right? The developers are Siri. So let's go on to the second point that is being so-called emphasize the fact that this project is only 30 meters away. Alright, it's coming again, the rumbling sound in the background. Right, it's 30 meters away from Sayut BTS station. Alright, so where exactly is Sayut BTS? Let's take a look at this map. Alright, okay, so it's along this green BTS line. They're actually doing an extension, alright, from Mochit upwards, alright. So this will all be coming up in the next few years. So let's talk about the good thing first. Typically, projects that are along upcoming BTS line will see increased demand or positive capital gains when the BTS is up and running. So before and after, there's definitely a positive effect because now it's accessible. People can come in and all these things, right? So I do not deny this fact, all right. But I would like to point out this uh, this thing to you, right? Yes, every one of us are always looking for a project that is near to BTS, but please also understand that this location, personally to me, is considered way out for me, at least for now. In time to come, hopefully the city will expand, it will get developed, right? But if we use Siam or Asok as the epicenter, this place where it is, even when the station is up, it will take you about 50 minutes to get to town. So, if you ask me, I personally do find it a bit far away to town. So, if you're thinking whether are you able to rent to expatriates, I highly doubt it, right? Unless you're talking about expatriates who have decided to make Thailand their home, they are there on a very long-term permanent basis. They have limited budget. They can't afford places like Ramanai or Hui Huang. Then yes, then they probably have to shift out. But if ever they decide to shift out, then you also have to consider the fact that it is not a given that they have to move to this direction. Where, I mean, they have choices, like for example, they can go along the Purple Line to Wong Sawang, example, right? Or they can take this line you can see here, right? Go further down to Banchak, Punawiti, Udom Sok, right? In fact, from Banchak, Punawiti to Udom Sok, from here to get to places like Thong Lo Asok will take even lesser time. And I can probably find some developments around here that would be at a similar price point, right? So food for thought, something for you to consider, right? So but of course there will always be locals, because their family will probably be, for example, the families are already based there. They'll definitely for intangible reasons they will need to stay there as well, right? But the purpose of this discussion, we are coming in from a point of an investor. As an investor, when you buy a property, two things you need to consider: the ease of letting it go, so called, is, do you have a clear exit strategy, and also whether how easy is it for you to get rental. All right, how easy for you to get rental, and also the kind of quality of tenants that you will be getting, right? So these are hard truth that we have to consider, so that's why I'm giving you, putting things into perspective, to let you have a better idea, where Sayut is as a location, right? But having said that, Sayut is gonna be 2 stations away from the interchange with the upcoming Pink Line. So what's probably something that you can take note of the Pink Line is, you see this station here, the government complex, right? Around Sayut, there are a few universities. There are quite a number of government agency complex. So you could be renting out to the employees of the government agencies, right? They could possibly be wanting to stay around here, right? But you will have to ask yourself, will there be competitions coming up from condos along the Pink Line? Will there be competitions coming up around here? So that's something, really, as an investor, you have to do your due diligence and find out, right? Whereas the reason why we always advocate city center is because there's only so much empty land inside the city center. If you go to places like, for example, Thong Lo Asok, you can't walk in and decide to buy a piece of empty land and decide to build something over there. The only way you can, renew the plot of land and make it into a brand new condo is you have to actually buy from the existing landowners, right? But that same thing I cannot apply, to places that are further out, where you have a lot more access to plots of land. So something for you to consider, because the demand supply is a fundamental to whether you can rent it out with a high degree of certainty, and also whether how easy is it for you to sell it off next time. Right. So next point. Right. Yeah, but okay, but really, I mean, if you really have a reason to invest in this area and you really believe in this potential of this area, then probably this project is one of the best in terms of location because it's like a stone throw away from the BTS, right? Um, Third point, they will be telling you that it's near to Dongmang Airport, so it's like literally next to it. So it's very convenient. You can catch the airport staff and all these things. Well, personally, I do not 100% agree with this. I do not necessarily see this as a selling point because, listen, right? By staying near to the airport, you are subjecting yourself to a lower quality of life by this noise, right? It may mean nothing to you, but when you are here 365 days a week, you have kids or you have your work, you're probably like working from home, and then you have this all the time. It can be pretty irritating, right? Yeah, this noise keep coming, every 5-10 minutes. Okay, uh, you guys have to understand that there is a difference between having easy accessibility to airport and being near to the airport, right? When what we want is, or rather what we consider it as a plus point is having a property that gives you easy access to the airport. That's definitely a good thing, right? But being near to the airport may not be. All right. Plus the fact that if you look at the map now, this red line will also be an extension to Dong Mai Airport, right? If and if it is going to be without this train line to bring people from Domang easily into the town center, then it might make sense, right? People who are working around here or just like transiting or 1-2 days, then because of the inaccessibility to get to town, they may find it may make sense for them to want to stay around here. All right, but this train once it's up, it actually adds convenience. So that means from Dongmang to maybe if I want to come to Bangsa, example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stops. I can just take 7 stops down into town, and town is where everything is. So if you're a pilot, you're earning a good income, you'll go to town. The restaurants are there, the shopping centers are there. Right, correct me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm making sense here. Right, so in actual fact, with the construction of this line, it makes the city center a lot more accessible to people staying in the outer rings of Bangkok. So that means even more traffic will be going into the center. So the demand for properties right in the heart of Bangkok will be even higher. Unless you're telling me that because of affordability issues that you have to go out, then that's fair, right? So I've said my piece, all right? That's my point about it being near the Dongma Airport. Whether is it a plus point? Well, I'm on the fence, right? Really, to me, it doesn't really attract me the way they are pitching it, right? Yep. So, okay. Next point, rental potential. So I've touched on that. Rental potential. If you are honestly speaking, my point of view, if you are thinking that I'll be able to rent to expatriates or seriously, I hardly doubt so. I mean, no condos in Bangkok. I mean, even if there are still choices in town, put it this way. All right. So for expatriates, when we say expatriates, that probably means that you want to deal with people who are earning a certain level of income. They can afford to pay a good rent for your property. Then these people with purchasing power, they will want to stay in the good neighborhoods. Where are the good neighborhoods? Personally, to me, places like RE potential, right? Even if you're telling me that hey, this is near the Bangsa upcoming, coming, but there are places like Laprao, there are places like RE that has a lot more to offer. So if I'm an expatriate, I can afford to pay say about 15 to 20,000 Thai baht a month for a 1 bedroom. There are choices in those areas. I'll probably go there, right? If not, then if I'm people of a higher management level, oh here it comes again, right? Then I'll stay at places like Saphanmai or Noot. It's so much easier, so much more convenient, right? So I hope you get a point. But to be fair, to put things in perspective, as I said, there are really a number of government agencies, universities. So we have to be real. Your tenants will more likely be the locals. It could be students, could be the government officials or some of the medical staff that are working in around the area, right? As long as that is acceptable to you, you are fully aware of what's going on, and you work it based on the achievable rental in that area against your purchase price, it makes sense. Then sure, why not, right? So I thought that's something that you should know and you should be aware of, right, before you just go into the next purchasing decision. Okay, low entry price. Definitely, I think one of the reason why people are talking about this project is because of the low entry price. The marketing materials are stating that prices start from about 2 point something million Thai baht. If you have been following Bangkok properties, if every weekend you walk into a show flat and then you see that people are selling projects in area like Ekamai, Ramanai, and so on and so forth, like the prices are like 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, and suddenly something pops out at 2, 3 million. Definitely, you will say, "Hey, look, this is cheap. This is good buy." Cheap is not the correct yardstick to measure whether you should get investing. Right? It is about value. So, put it this way: the average price of the base Saphanmai, from what I've seen, is about 150, 140, 150,000 Thai baht per square meter. Comparable projects in that area, even the newer ones that were completed, say about 1 year ago, most of them are transacting at less than 100,000 Thai baht per square meter. So you have to decide if you want to pay that 50% premium for this project. Perhaps it could be a premium because of the proximity to the BTS. Perhaps it could be a premium because of the proximity to because of the developer Sansiri, or maybe perhaps it could be a premium because of the quality of the project versus the rest, and the design, right? So that's something you have to just justify, and do your own due diligence. Decide, is it justifiable? Just to give you a perspective, if you are willing to top up another 10-20% to about 170, 180,000 Thai baht per square meter. In fact, some of the units are at 160. You can consider a unit at XT Paratai, and XT Paratai being at Paratai station. Let's go back to this map here. We're talking about a station that is here versus here, which is 2 stations to Siam. The quantum will be higher because the units are larger, about 42 square meters. So the quantum will still set you back about 6 million, 5 million, 6 million. But for that slight increase in per square meter price, you can go so much closer to town. 50 minutes versus 10 minutes. Right? Just to give you a bit of perspective, something for you to really think about. Okay, so low entry price, question mark, right? Okay, last but not least, something that they have done for this project is, I think in recent years the trend has been towards local or even foreigners alike. They are liking the loft unit. So for this property, to give it credit, they're coming up with loft unit design. So that's something that is different from the comparables around the area. So all things being equal, if you have a loft unit versus an average unit, then of course you may be able to attract tenants to choose your unit over the rest of the development. So that's something unique, all right. Something, a plus for this project. And as foreign purchaser, the way Sansiri work is the product will come fully furnished, so it's hassle free. You really don't have to spend a lot of effort to do up the place. Once it's completed, you take your key and then you can probably start looking for a tenant, or if you are using it for your own holiday home, then you can actually stay inside. Like I put them in this order because uh, this is my flow of thought in terms of how I rate a property. So if you ask me, this will be the least of my consideration if the top few points fail to pass your due diligence test, right? But if all these are good points to you, you find them acceptable, you find it because of all this, it is something that make the base Saphanmai attractive to you, then the fact that this is a loft unit design and it's fully furnished will add an extra to the entire purchase process, because you know that you're getting something unique, a loft, you're getting it fully furnished, and if you have seen our previous video of our visit to Sansiri sales gallery, you will see that they are like very tastefully done. So I do not have any doubts about the quality of their finishing and the design. Right? At what price? Of course, at the quality will match the price point that is given. Please do not compare the base of my finishing to Oka House. You can't, because the price point is totally different. Right? Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty much done for this video review. I hope you guys now have a better idea of the base Saphanmai. This is purely my personal opinion. You have to take it in context, right? So if you have any further questions about this project, or perhaps because perhaps you're considering this project because of your budget of wanting to just spend about 3 million to 4 million for an investment property in Bangkok, please feel free to drop us a text, drop us a comment. You can drop us a text, send us an email to us, and we'll be happy to share more with you. Or if there's any angles that I have not covered for this project and you want to know more, like for example, you want the e-brochure, you want the floor plan, you want to know exactly what are the prices like, feel free to contact us. We'll be happy to share all these things with you. Probably just let me share with you my contact details again. Okay, it's the plane again, right? So this is my contact number. All right, I'm reachable from WhatsApp. So if you want to give us a call or anything, I'll be happy to talk to you. Or you could email me. All right, this is my email, kevin@investbangkokproperty.com. If you are from China or Hong Kong and you use WeChat, you can reach me too. Chocobo82. That's my WeChat ID. All right. Yep. So that's it.